Thank you. Anybody remember that conversation a little bit? And so if you would go into chat for me, put a word down about what this idea of prayer and bowing. We often associate it with something out there, don't we? It's our first mistake, both in bowing and in prayer. Something to something else. Ooh, this is terrifying. The other thing, but what is it really? I've been asking people to practice it to see if there's any moments where you are inspired, where something comes from within, awe, openness, arriving, that invites that idea of prayer or bowing, which is just one small form, maybe, of a prayer, we could say. Greg, yes, the bowing. What about it? Yes, it's a great idea.
It's something I'm not used to doing.
Yeah.
I certainly don't do it on any kind of a regular basis unless you suggest to us that maybe we try it. So it's I think something that is probably worth doing, but it's hard for me to even remember to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I want us to start there, Greg, because most of us didn't do it. If you weren't in a situation, if you were in ordinary life, let me go to that, you probably didn't do it because you perceive the life in this moment as ordinary. Do you know what I'm saying? You brought the lens of the ordinary to the present moment. And when we do that, what are we bowing to? What's the point? This is just my same old coffee cup right here. My same old coffee in it. What am I bowing to? My same old Greg on this same old screen. But what? What about that? Really? What about that? Uh-oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
I find that, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Kelly, please.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, thanks. I think that it feels kind of natural. And I've been doing it actually for a while when I do presentations in front of groups. And it just seems like, you know, a nice way to express gratitude. And I don't do it as much on an individual basis occasionally, but I just think it feels very, very pleasant.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. So why don't you do it more?
Yeah, that's a good question. In individual circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
probably just because I just don't think of it. And when I do it, I don't really think of it. It's not like I plan to do it. It just kind of happens in the moment.
It arises, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like gratitude, right? You don't plan gratitude.
Exactly.
I don't know if we could plan gratitude. Not real, right? Like, I don't know if you plan bravery either. I don't know if you plan love, really, right? I think it comes from something. Hi there, who's this? I've got somebody on screen. Would love to say hello.
Hello.
Hi. I can't see who you are. Hi.
It's Victor.
Oh, hi, Victor. I can't, you're at a little distance. I can't see you. Victor, what are your thoughts about this?
I haven't heard the question.
The question is two things. Did we practice the bowing? You wouldn't have known about that, Victor, because we practiced the concepts investigating, inquiring into the concepts of bowing and prayer and why we don't do them, or when do we do them, and what does it take, we're inquiring into now, to invite them, invoke them, to be inspired to them, Kelly said. And Greg said what was true, I think, for most of us, which is I don't think about it. And if I'm not thinking about it, I may not as likely do it. And yes, so I think there is some comfort that we have to cultivate. I think that is true. It is not cultural. Waving, you know, we're all pretty comfortable at the end of the doing the wave, right? Maybe for us, we see it as something other than our histories, for sure. Most of our histories did not include that. Dennis has said here, bowing to the things, it sounds like, Dennis, that inspire awe for you, or maybe connection, the connection to nature.
More respect. I would say respect. Respect for life. Yes.
Respect.
Respecting your life, respecting my life, respecting our life here together.
Yes. Yes.
When I see the Dalai Lama bowing, and he bows all the time to
Continuous.
anyone.
It's
anywhere.
continuous. It's continuous. I want to give the Dalai a little shoulder up because he came from a culture that invited, supported, invoked, made comfortable bowing. We, on the other hand, our Western culture does not like this the perception, we'll remember, of subjugating, being less than, getting beneath another, being vulnerable. Let me go there. Head down, eyes not on ya. No. They're always up in here paying attention to what we're doing, right? That's our cultural context. Handshaking, remember what handshaking came from? You knew the guy didn't have a gun. That was actually the origin of handshaking. You knew they didn't have a weapon. So put out your hand. Let me check. Oh, you're not holding a weapon. I guess we're okay now. Right. And so my invitation was really not to be bowing everywhere. That would be crazy. But to see where this idea of respect, dedication, devotion, regard, Kelly's sense of inspiration, I think even in connection, might come from first, and then to check in on that. And what's the body of that?
For me, it's I put the word, I've typed in the word reverence.
Yes.
I honestly, we in the hospital have been using, or I at least on my team have been using the bow during COVID because we weren't allowed to shake hands, or we weren't allowed to really be, touching anybody. So we bow to the reverence of one, and respect to the patient's family when we saw them, and to the patient. So
Yeah. And did you notice it got more and more comfortable?
Yeah.
Of course
I
it
do
did.
it all the time. People still look at me like I've got 3 heads, but I still do it.
Yeah. I think maybe it is something we could risk without, I think that somebody might look at you like you have 3 heads because they may not understand it.
Right.
They may not know what it means yet. They may be worried. I think people go like, uh-oh, am I supposed to bow to you? Because I don't do that. And the answer is no. No, I'm not doing this to get something. I'm doing this to communicate something. By the way, would you have to? We just practiced the putting of the hands together at the heart, the lowering of the head. the showing of regard, respect. We just practiced a fun form of that. Is that your form? It doesn't have to be. It's not required at all. Here's my question. What is your bow? Let's say you don't bow. What is it? How do you show then? So you don't bow. It's not common in our culture. How do you do it? How do you show reverence, respect, regard, gratitude? How do you embody that? Libby says she smiles. I'm noticing close my eyes and nod my head or tuck my head. And I do that often as I'm acknowledging what someone's saying, as I'm breathing it in, taking it in, as I'm opening my whole being to what someone is saying.
I feel the eyes are important. Looking into another's eyes is like looking into their soul.
Looking at someone directly, looking into their eyes would be an offer of regard, reverence, respect, care, devotion, attention. We might say here is some attention. So I want you, I made this suggestion to the bow. I was actually pretty certain there would be few of them, by the way. I just really wanted you to start waking up to the fact that we do not most typically have an embodiment for those essential gifts. Those very essential gifts: loving attention, kind regard, gratitude, appreciation, reverence, right? Then we get into the big time, devotion, right? We do not have an embodiment. So I want you to look now, this part of the week, at what's yours. What is it? If you're not bowing, that's just one form. What are you doing? Or what are you not doing? Maybe is as relevant or more. And then why? Why? Right? Maybe someone is hugging. Well, that's somewhat limited, I have to say. We certainly are comfortable hugging friends and family. We're probably, especially now, following COVID, there is, and you don't know anymore, like who might be there, who might not be there, right? Is there a touch? Are you comfortable with that? Is there a little light touch on the arm? Is that it? Is there some kind of looking and then some kind of honoring? I want you to pay attention to that. We don't do it enough, and we often wait too long to do it. We wait until the moment is past. I noticed this in myself in the last several days. It was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna do that. I even had the thought, and then before I even got to it, it was gone. What was I waiting for? What was I thinking about? Why wasn't I just doing it? And I'm pretty comfortable doing it. By the way, I don't have I've been bowing a long time. Why am I not doing it? What's in my way? What anxiety, distress, fear, worry is in my way? And I just want us to look. So the two things we're going to investigate: all bowing, all acts of regard are a prayer. It's just the bow is prayer in form. In form, just one form. What's your form? What's your form for prayer? What's your form for the bow? They're really interconnected. You could not separate them. And then what are you waiting for? Like me, I was asking myself, what am I waiting for?
Diana,
Yes, Greg.
a prayer to what?
That's right. What is the answer for you, Greg?
I guess it's not a prayer to what? It's not a prayer to a thing.
No other.
And in fact, I would say for me, it's kind of hard to even define it completely. Because if I was fully present, meaning I was really completely aware of how magical it is, in a way, I guess, to be here right now, just to be in this moment, to be alive, to be completely aware of that, right present.
Yeah.
And to have this, what we're talking about, gratitude for that. I guess, you know, I mean, I'm trying to define it in a way, and maybe that's not what I should be doing. Maybe
I think
define
it's
it.
okay. The inquiry is okay, right? To say what brings me there, what keeps me from it. I think that's our mindful inquiry. No, I don't think we're going to be able to define it. I don't, but I don't think we have to get that crisp. I think it is useful though, to go, how do I enact, embody, live that awe, that wonder, that appreciation, that gratitude, that reverence, Carrie said, that, right? How do I do it? And how don't I? And what's in the don't? Because it's as interesting to me as what's in the doing. Is what the hell, right? And again, Thomas Merton's statement, right? If you knew the preciousness of this life, you would weep and fall to the ground and kiss the feet of all beings.
I guess that's it. We're not completely awake. We're not completely awake.
No,
And
look,
I mean, yeah,
yeah, no, we're not. And we're better at seeing what's not happening.
right.
We're all way better at the not. If my husband looks at the Weather Channel one more time to see where the rain is when it's coming as a problem, right? As a problem, we're so good, aren't we all, at finding the not in it. We do it in meditation, the not breath. We catch that like crazy. Not the breath, the not breath, not over here, not over there. Nobody's on the, like I missed every breath. I was so into the not breathing, into the mind distract, into the wandering. I never caught the breath that was there. And it is a mind habit. It is not just cultural. It's not true. It's not just us in the West. It's not true. It is the nature of the egoic, survival-based, fear-based, habit-based mind. I just want us to recognize it without judgment, without criticism, without I'm all fucked up, so that we can go, wait a minute, how do I wake up now? Because there you are. I noticed. I was thinking about bowing a lot. I did. I thought, well, here's a chance. Oh, there's another one. There, got that one back. Missed that. Didn't do it. Thought a lot about it. I'm committed today. I want you to commit with me, and then we're going to practice enacting that waking up. What does that look like? I am awake. I see you. You're beautiful. How do I honor that? There's no one way. The eyes, the hug, the smile, the bow, the knowing it. Let that happen. Start there. Just know it. And then I trust whatever comes from it. Know it. Go, there it is. It's unbelievable. I'm looking at my sister. Unbelievable. Now what? And now it doesn't matter. Not really. So whatever that is, however that shines, right? Because you can't keep it under, you can't keep it tucked. It doesn't do itself that way, does it? You get what I'm saying? So I want us to move past the ideas, right? The idea of bowing. It's fun to practice. By the way, I enjoyed it. It's fun to practice. But what is the every moment? It requires first this attention with regard to all things, right? And then that slogan in the Lojong slogans, be grateful for everything and everyone, then be grateful. Well, we can kind of muster that, I think, because we can look around in every moment. Maybe that's what comes first. See what's true for you. Okay. So with that, let's go into that mind. Let's join and connect to that heart. I'm going to take one more sip. And so what's the embodiment of that truth as you sit right now? What does that look like? Well, it forces me up. Really, it does me. It wakes me up. It straightens the spine. It pulls me into the enormity, really, the enormity of it all. And then my feet naturally want to ground because I'll just spin off into the amazing reality of it. And yet, how do I stay here, embodied here in this place so that I can live it, so that it can be alive in me right here? So we use the feet, we use the seat, right? We use the hands. Where are they? Helps a little. To ground into that embodiment. So take that body, find that body, the body of all that we were speaking of, reverence, regard, awe, wonder, the preciousness of this life, the tenderness, the enormity, and the ordinary, and then the extraordinary, even in this. This is Buddha nature. And of course, we don't need the Buddha word. That's just an idea. Interconnectedness, interbeing. Breathe it in. And then we lower the eyes if that's comfortable, or we let those eyes rest in that vast spaciousness. You can feel the energy drawing you up, as well as the energy offering you this human form, this moment. And those two brought together are the hologram of being. And then we offer the bodhicitta, the aspiration for all ease, for all happiness, for all well-being, for all beings. We breathe it in and we send it out. Let it emanate, radiate. Don't keep it to yourself, because you are also everywhere. And now we have set the body, we've set the mind, and we've opened the heart. And there's nothing left to do but live it, breathe it, be it. That's it. And so we use the sound of the bell to purify all obscurations. That's why the bell is rung. It's not time linear. It isn't start now, stop now, actually at all. The point of the bell is the radiant vibration of the bell to remind us first of our own true nature, radiant, expanding, opening, continuing always. And as we are attending to the strike of the bell, we are present, awake, alive right here. And then we turn from the vibration of the bell to the vibration of the body. And see where you can feel, sense, and know that alive, wakeful, loving, reverent, present you. And can you feel the bow right in that stillness? Yes, you can. Right in that stillness. Right in that attention. With each in-breath, we awaken, are inspired to the preciousness of just this one moment. And everything that's here with it. The tick of the clock, the sound of my voice, the vibration of the body. In attention, we can bow to everything. And then wherever the mind goes, we're keeping it right now on the breath, both the in-breath and the out-breath. Just gathering our attention. And rather than letting any object in its arising be the problem, with everything, the breath and then the not breath, the sounds, the sensations, the thoughts, we offer that prayer, that bow, that kiss, that hug, that smile, those direct connecting eyes, that reverence, that gratitude. We remember then the preciousness of this human life and all that arises. We soften and relax the body just a little bit more, remembering as we make contact that there is nothing separate. There is no sound separate from you. Everything is an exchange. A taking in and a sending out. And it is so big. In its immensity, it requires our stillness, our stability, our quiet. And then we rest again and again in that opening, in that contact, in that connection. The Buddha said the reality of non-separation. Maybe we could say the reality of love. And everywhere we place the mind, then there is the vow. There is the prayer. Everywhere. Awaken. Do not go back to sleep. Waking up with each breath. Unique, precious. Can we let each breath be the bell of awakening? Feeling into the body of that reverence, connection, devotion, gratitude, connection. How does it feel? What are the qualities of mind? Spacious, open, receptive. empty of all obscurations, hindrances, afflictions. What is the quality of the heart? Radiant warmth, spacious, boundless, embracing, connecting. How is the awakened heart mind known? This is the prayer. This is the vow. This is the smile of the hug, the soft gaze, the hands gathered at the heart. In its infinite expression. Let this emanate through every pore. Let it fill your whole being. And then everything you do. is the bow in the prayer. And nothing else is required. It will live right through you. And then the prayer seeks nothing. It is not an asking, it is an offer. And it begins with your attention. May all beings have happiness and the causes for happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings enjoy great happiness, free from suffering. May all beings rest and dwell in equanimity, free from obscuration, free from hindrance, free from fear. Free from aggression. May we remember who we really are. And may this practice this very morning, may it contribute may it continue throughout this day and the next and the next, making it a very good day. So be it. So find your bow, whatever that looks like for you. Smile. Opening, offering, and receiving. Joyful for noses that blow. All right, checking in on this practice, checking in on what you were able to make contact with, what you were able to recognize. My husband came in, I'll start, and he brought me a coffee, and I bowed my head, and he stopped. And I'm certain because he was going, what are you trying to tell me there? And my guess is he thought I was bowing my head because I was annoyed that he was bothering me. So I'm going to make sure to go up and tell him that was not the case. And then I think the big question is, how do you take it off the cushion, right? So yeah, all right, made contact with it, felt the connection, the openness, the devotion, the reverence, the preciousness of it all. And then the big question, right? How do I live it once I stand up? Once I'm walking around? How do I breathe, move, live with that? And I agree. I think that's going to be a continuing investigation for us. I think it's a worthy one. And so let's continue, all of us together. We are having our mindful all day this Saturday. We do not have someone currently to get onto Zoom. So for right now, we're not going to be doing Saturday Zoom. We will, though, invite all Sangha to Quest Haven, even for early practice. If you can't stay the whole day, that's not a problem. I think it'll be just gorgeous there. I'm really looking forward to being up there. On March 4th, please join us for half or whole day or for a practice. It all counts. And if you would, I will put the registration. I'm going to be sending out the newsletter today with the registration link on it. So please join us. I would very much enjoy that. All right. One more deep breath. May we all enjoy this beautiful, precious day, whatever the conditions might be. So may you all be well. Wonderful to see you all here this morning. Thank you all. Love to you all. I look forward to seeing you. Greg will be on Thursday. So join us at 7 a.m. On that day also. All right, everyone, be well.